Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flannel channel. I'm Philip, hanging out with my son Jacob today. Glad you're here. Today we finally are doing the QA1 lowering kit on our shop truck. It's a 2014 Silverado. This one's a two-wheel drive, but QA1 makes this kit also for four-wheel drive trucks. And so if you haven't seen the video where we got to watch these components being built at the QA1 facility, right here in our home state of Minnesota, USA, go check that out. I'm gonna put the link above us here. But today we finally get to see this thing just get slammed into the weeds, and this is going to be a fun one. It's not a super complicated kit either, so we're going to show you step by step how we're doing this. It's really not that big a deal. You could do this also, so if you're looking for stuff that's quality, made in America for your late model, check this out. Let's do this. So we do not have to remove the box from this truck to do this work, but we decided to take the spare, take the box off and things like that, just so that it's more open and we can get at things and access stuff even easier. So yeah, just removing things, getting everything out of our way, and getting ready to fire up the plasma cutter because we're going to be cutting off the bump stops right in here. So we now are to the stage where everything has been removed. We use the plasma cutter to take some of the old brackets off, the grinding, things like that. That just got everything where it's at so that we can now start assembly and putting things back together. Put our new brackets on, our new shackles, and flip the axle on top of the springs, stuff like that. So just a quick progress report where we're at. Don't get intimidated and overwhelmed with the level that we're going to on this. It's simply because we chose to do it this way. And it's more fun to show you guys along the way, step by step, than if the box was in the way. So, Moving on to our front end, we have everything disassembled and cleaned up just a little bit. Jacob did a fantastic job with that. Here's what we're installing. This is our coilover, and we chose to use the needle bearing option down here for easier adjustability and the locking bolts. Now, I got a little bit carried away with some of the anti-seize, so sorry it's getting on you now, dude. But we'll get it wiped back off better once everything's installed and looking good. But so that's our coilover. Here is the drop spindle, and we're getting ready to install that. You can kind of see how it works and why it does what it does by moving the center line of the bearing up. And so yeah, just cleaned up our bearing, get some anti-seize in some of the critical spots on that, and let's reassemble. It's going awesome. So while we're working on assembling the front end, I'm gonna have Jacob do a little bit more painting back here on our differential and the frame and things like that. This was all in really nice shape. It had actually been undercoated at one time. You can see a lot of this just needed to get wiped off and cleaned a little bit. And yeah, looks really awesome. So those of you that live in the Midwest, you can appreciate how good a shape that is. That's not been painted. That's just wiping off the dirt and the dust and things like that. But you know, there's areas that we had to grind off some of our brackets, and we have raw steel, so we want to protect that a little bit. So a little bit of primer, a little bit of paint, a little skeet. We'll be in good shape. We can start reassembling. Yeah. All right, so we got the front end put back together on this thing, and we are starting with our wheel test fitment now. Now, don't panic. We're going to be doing some aftermarket wheels on this thing, but for now, the stock ones are going back on, and you have to have a minimum of 17-inch rims on this lowering kit. So if you're wondering, yes, you can use your stock wheels on this setup, but you have to do just a tiny bit of trimming, like take the stud and you know, your lower ball joint, just trim that off, little things like that. But doesn't that look sweet in there? I love that. It's beautiful. Yeah, again, we might do something different with our brakes as well, but that's down the road. This whole point is to see what exactly we're getting for our ride height and things like that. Now we're gonna switch over to the back end. Jacob did a great job of painting our differential and getting all that looking really, really sharp. more assembly. Here we go. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Now, full disclosure, our truck had 2-inch lift blocks in it when we started this project. So when you see the before photos, it's sitting up a little bit jacked up in the back end. We decided, because those lift blocks were in there and the U-bolts are not the stock U-bolts, these are aftermarket U-bolts that came with our truck, we just decided to leave those in there. So our lift blocks now are actually lowering blocks. And so we're getting that extra little bit of 2 inches, 1.5 inches, whatever that is, in addition. So anyway, I don't want to be misleading at all as far as what this kit does, but that's what we have that came with our truck. So we're including it as part of the flip kit and part of our build. So yeah, just wanted to make that abundantly clear that the results that we're getting are because of those 2-inch blocks in addition to the QA1 kit. And now we get to put our shocks on. Woo, look at those babies. Double adjustable. Oh, isn't that beautiful? That's gonna look really, really sick underneath there. And of course we'll finish hooking up the drive shaft and the e-brake cables and all that stuff. But yeah, it's getting exciting now. Hey, super bonus, did you catch our mistake? Because we just caught it. Oops, we accidentally put this side in the wrong hole compared to that side. We were standing back looking at the truck going, you know, it sits a little bit weird side to side. And yeah, just happened to notice, oops, simple fix right there. We'll just move it up and then it sits a little lower. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you go back up?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
One more?
Good. I can get that.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job. Now the truck's lower. Woo!
I'll show you. I'm just having to switch over the bushings in the ends of the eyelets of the rear shocks, and no big deal. So press these out, press these ones in so I can put my bolts back in. And I'm just using the press here. So yeah, piece of cake. Just takes a couple minutes and we are good to go, ready to keep installing. Just finishing up the final last minute assembly on this thing just before we get ready to put the box back on. My sons should be here in about 10 minutes or so to help me do that because I can't do that solo. But we'll get the brakes bled out, the shocks are bolted down, the U-bolts are tight. We're gonna drive it to the other shop, we'll do the alignment on it, we'll check our pinion angle, make sure you don't have exhaust rattles and stuff like that. And we can match our adjustable coilovers on the front to make sure we get the ride height right where we want it. These wheels will also be changed to something else. So you're not seeing the final project in its completion, but you're seeing it now to the next level. So pretty excited. All right, I think the boys are just about here. Let's get this box on. I'm here at our shop working on the late model Silverado that we put the QA1 lowering kit in this thing. It's got double adjustable coilovers, and I love this thing because we can adjust the ride height and compression and rebound. It's just a couple of clicks right here on the bottom of the coilover. So yeah, getting this thing dialed in, getting the alignment done. Oh, it rides so good. And there we go. So I'm thrilled with how this turned out. And yeah, it's not crazy like airbag low, but this thing is gonna handle amazing. And like I keep saying, we're not finished yet. This is how real world and blue collar we are. We're not even hiding the rust. We're not photoshopping that out. You guys get to see it. This project's not finished. But huge thank you to QA1. We had a blast doing this project. You can do this too if you're in the market for lowering your late model Silverado or F-150. Get a hold of those guys. They sell them for 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive trucks, and I can't wait to get out and drive this thing. So stay tuned. We're gonna have more updates on this Silverado project, but I love it. I think it looks awesome. All right, thanks for supporting the channel, everybody. We will see you again next Saturday. Peace and grease. And there's a tractor going by in the background. There's a tractor going by.